What we're trying to create are things that people have never experienced, magical moments that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives.
I would like to make a small addition to the chief.
Con los terroristas.
The Harlem Shake.
Danica Patrick started this race, did not finish, had some car trouble, had to go to the garage for that thing. It's not the car she's going to be using for the Daytona 500 tomorrow, but the big story is what happened at the end of this race when Danica was long gone. This is the last lap. Regan Smith passing Tony Stewart for the lead. Some bumping going on. All right, nothing unusual there, but this is unusual. Smith's car goes sideways. Brad Keselowski involved in the wreck. Tony Stewart squeaks through for the win. But we got to look at the replay here because it is serious. The rookie, Kyle Larson's car, gets thrown into the protective netting. He loses his whole front into the stands. Okay, so the front of the car is gone through the protective netting. You see the car right there. It's Kyle Larson trying to get out. He's a rookie, remember. Justin Allgaier, Alex Bowman, Regan Smith, all involved in this thing. Larson losing the engine into the grandstands. There were some injuries there. We're not sure what they were at this point, so we're still waiting to hear from Daytona and get more information. And when we do, of course, we'll bring it to you.
In their tens of thousands, they streamed into the square in front of Seoul's National Assembly to watch the swearing-in of their first female president. While Park Geun-hye was still on her way from home in the southern suburb of Gangnam, the man who made it globally famous was on stage. But the bigger applause was reserved for the new president, who formally took the oath of office. Park Geun-hye has been part of South Korean public life for most of her own, as the daughter of the late military dictator Park Chung-hee. She acted as First Lady after her mother was killed in 1974 by an assassin targeting her father. He himself was killed by his security chief 5 years later. His rule marked a period of dizzying economic growth and grim political repression. In her inaugural speech, she laid out the kind of country she wanted to help build in her 5-year term.
Let us all work together towards a new era of happiness and hope, so that we can all become partners in another miracle or a new chapter in the miracle on the Han River.
It was a reference to the central platform in her campaign to ensure that a wider section of society benefited from South Korea's miraculous economic rise. She also called on North Korea to abandon its nuclear weapons, but promised to chart a new path in relations with Pyongyang.
Trust can be built through dialogue and by honoring promises that have already been made. It is my hope that North Korea will abide by international norms and make the right choice so that the trust-building process on the Korean peninsula can move forward.
Park Geun-hye campaigned on engaging with North Korea, and the recent rocket launch and nuclear test notwithstanding, she reaffirmed that desire today. The question is what the specifics of that policy will be and how Pyongyang will react. North Korea's state media chose to show scientists and engineers behind the country's nuclear program being congratulated by senior government figures. Since the nuclear test, Pyongyang has already promised a second and third measure of greater intensity. Engagement anytime soon will be tough. There's some skepticism, too, about her ability to fulfill her promise to democratize South Korea's economy. Some welfare pledges have already been scaled back. Her official policy documents scant on detail about tackling the power of corporate giants. She has, though, nurtured a reputation as someone who keeps her promises, and as she enters the presidential palace, the Blue House, her childhood home, she has the opportunity to try. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, Seoul.